Hello, guys. It was announced that Anthony Thompson has received an offer from Kentucky. Have you been following along? Before you get any more news, subscribe to the channel to receive more news from the Cats. Anthony Thompson, one of the most coveted prospects in the class of 2026, is in the spotlight after receiving an offer from Kentucky during his visit to Big Blue Madness, an event traditionally used to impress elite recruits. Thompson, from Western Reserve, Ohio, stands out as a top 20 player nationally on all recruiting sites, with his highest ranking being 9th on 247 sports. The offer from Kentucky is not only a confirmation of his talent, but also highlights Coach Mark Pope's continued interest in solidifying the Wildcats' presence as a top destination for elite players. Thompson's visit to Big Blue Madness, accompanied by the formal offer, sends a clear message. Mark Pope is determined to secure top-tier talent for the future of the program. Thompson, who already has offers from powerhouses like Alabama, Auburn, Cincinnati, Louisville, and Michigan, represents a player who can change the fortunes of a team. The fact that Kentucky was able to land him a visit during such a significant event demonstrates the enduring appeal of the Wildcats basketball program, which, under Pope's leadership, is retooling to compete at a high level in the coming seasons. In addition to Thompson, the event featured a Caden Lewis, another four-star point guard in the class of 2025, another high-profile recruit who has drawn interest from several colleges. However, Kentucky's focus appears to be firmly on Thompson, given his versatility and ability to play multiple positions, which is extremely valuable in today's college basketball landscape. Thompson's visit and the offer he received indicate that Kentucky is willing to do whatever it takes to secure his signature, and Pope certainly sees him as a key piece for the team's future. With visits scheduled to Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State in the coming weeks, Thompson will have some important decisions to make. However, Kentucky's offer, combined with the impact of events like Big Blue Madness, puts the Wildcats in a promising position. Mark Pope continues to reinforce Kentucky's winning culture, and the possibility of adding Thompson to the roster would be a big step in the right direction. The wing brings not only size and athleticism, but also a refined ability to score and defend, which makes him a very attractive prospect for any elite program. Let's get going. And Pitino was in Kentucky. Rick Pitino's recent donation to Kentucky football's NIL Fund reaffirms his deep connection to the program, and in particular, to head coach Mark Stoops. The $15,000 contribution, revealed during an interview on the KSR pregame show, is a significant gesture that aims to support Stoops' ongoing efforts to attract top recruits and retain talent within the team. Pitino, who has built a legacy in college basketball, has a long friendship with Stoops and Wildcats football assistant Eddie Grant, and was quick to show his financial support at a crucial time for the football program. Pitino expressed his appreciation for Stoops, highlighting the impact the coach has had on Kentucky football, a program that he said many believed was incapable of achieving its current success. He highlighted memorable moments from the season, such as the game against Ole Miss and even the team's competitiveness against Georgia, which shows his close follow-up to the team's trajectory. With the donation, Pitino reinforces his commitment to strengthening Stoops' program, which is facing challenges after a frustrating loss to Vanderbilt. Pitino's presence at Big Blue Madness was also a public show of support not only for Stoops, but also for current Kentucky basketball coach Mark Pope, who was a player under his tutelage. During the event, a visibly emotional Pitino had the opportunity to reminisce about his days coaching Pope and other former players, creating a moment of deep connection to the Wildcats' basketball history. Pitino's emotional and financial support in this context highlights his continued influence within the Kentucky community. Mark Pope, who welcomed Pitino with open arms at Big Blue Madness, symbolizes the continuation of a tradition of excellence in Kentucky basketball. The fact that Pitino adjusted his schedule to attend the event, in addition to the football game, demonstrates his dedication to the legacy of his former players and the program as a whole. The relationship between Pitino and Pope is significant, as Pope was one of the players who learned directly from the legendary coach and is now leading the Kentucky basketball team with great skill. Pitino's donation and his presence at key program events further strengthened the bond between generations of Wildcats, from football to basketball. His friendship with Stoops and Pope is a reflection of his comprehensive vision for athletic success at Kentucky, and his contribution to the NIL is just one more example of his continued commitment to supporting the growth and development of the university's athletic programs. Game on? What about football? The Kentucky Wildcats' disappointing performance against the Vanderbilt Commodores has raised questions, especially about the limited use of freshman running back Jamarian Wilcox, who, despite limited touches, has proven to be an explosive option for the Wildcats' offense. The loss to one of the SEC's weakest defenses exposed the team's ineffective offense, which managed just 13 points, and many are wondering why Wilcox, who averaged an impressive 11.7 yards per carry on just 3 attempts, wasn't used more during the game. The unexpected answer came at Monday's press conference, when Coach Mark Stoops was asked why Wilcox isn't getting more snaps. Stoops' explanation was surprising, to say the least. He suggested that Wilcox needed to learn how to tie his shoes. While the comment may have been made in jest or to illustrate a need for maturity on the part of the rookie, the statement was received as a public criticism that, in a way, exposed Wilcox in an unnecessary way. It's clear that Stoops' real point was likely to highlight Wilcox's need for greater discipline and maturity, something that is common among players in their first year with the program. However, the way in which the coach phrased it ended up generating backlash, with many seeing the comment as a hilarious excuse, but also as a risky move to publicly criticize a young athlete. The situation is a reminder of how statements like this can affect a player's confidence and development at crucial moments in their careers. Wilcox, who has already shown potential to be a difference-maker in the Wildcats' offense, must now balance the learning curve with the expectations of a program that is looking for quick fixes to fix its offensive shortcomings. As Stoops tries to keep his focus on developing his roster, the pressure to maximize the use of talent like Wilcox will increase, especially after a disappointing performance against an opponent that should have been a comfortable victory. The public criticism of Stoops, whether intentional or not, puts the spotlight on the management of the team's young talent. Kentucky has a great opportunity to turn its course this season around, but it will require clear strategic decisions and, potentially, a greater reliance on players like Wilcox, whose explosive potential could be the key to reinvigorating an offense that desperately needs new solutions. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.